Trent, did you see those comments from Jamie Carragher the other day saying that you could be sort of a Kevin De Bruyne figure for Liverpool in terms of style of play, but positionally as well?
Yeah, obviously. I'm a defender first and foremost, and then obviously I want to try and help the team create chances. Obviously, different positions, different type of players, but yeah, that's his point of view. Maybe one day that'll happen. Who knows? But for now, the manager's obviously decided that I'm a right back, and that's where I play.
But that's something you'd be open to maybe one day as your career progresses.
Yeah, obviously I'm really not fussed where I play. I just want to play football, and if a manager decides that he wants to use me as midfield or centre back or a striker, then that's what I'll play.
Sorry to harp on about comparisons, but I think Danny Murphy was comparing you the other week to David Beckham. But is there a player that you modelled yourself? I mean, with particularly the whip on the crosses as you were growing up, that you particularly admired?
Gerrard, really. I'd say, yeah, everything about his game I always admired. Always studied him and wanted to be like him. So yeah, if I had to pick a player, it'd be him. I never thought, oh, I want to cross a ball like that. It's just happened naturally. I've just developed it into a decent trait. So yeah, I think that's what I try and do. It's probably the best asset going forward for me. So try and use as much as I can.
And how often, how long, sorry, I should say, really, to do you practice on free kicks? And you fancy your chances now for England as well, don't you? Sort of with taking the ball and taking the set pieces.
Yeah, obviously over the years growing up and that, I always, like I said, I remember Gerrard always taking them for Liverpool and always taking that responsibility, and I feel as though if someone feels confident to take a free kick or a set piece, then they should. Yeah, so I always feel confident stepping up and putting a decent ball into the box.
Trent, you say you're a defender first and foremost, so obviously clean sheets are important for you, but you're such an attacking player. Do you keep a count of your assists, or do you walk off a pitch a little bit disappointed if you haven't created a goal or perhaps even scored a goal yourself?
No, not at all. I don't think the only time I walk off disappointed is if we haven't won the game. It's not too important to me whether I get assists or anything like that. The first and foremost objective of a game for us is to win, no matter what happens. And if we do that, then I'll walk off happy. If not, then I won't. It doesn't matter whether I've got assists or clean sheets or goals. It's about winning.
Trent, the defence was a little bit of an issue on the last England meet-up. There looked to be problems back there, and we obviously conceded quite a few goals against Kosovo. Are you aware, as one of the defenders, that if we're going to go far in the Euros next summer, that defensively we do have to improve?
Yeah, of course. I think if we want to be regarded as one of the best teams in Europe and get far in the Euros and try and win the competition, then our clean sheets and our goals conceded need to be fewer. We need to concede fewer goals and obviously score more. So I think for us as defenders and as a team, as a unit, we know where we need to improve, and that's what we'll be working on.
Can you pinpoint at all in the last meet-up where it wasn't quite going right defensively?
No, I think some games just happen. I think we'll obviously analyse what went wrong and work on it, try and make sure it doesn't happen again. I think Kosovo, really underestimated side. I think we had massive respect for them before the game, and yeah, we knew that they had threats. Luckily for us, we've obviously been able to outscore them, but we weren't happy with the goals that we conceded. But that's something that we need to work on.
Trent, just on that, talking straight after the game last month, they said there was going to be a meeting between yourselves to talk about it, to talk about what went on in terms of the defending. Have you had that meeting yet, or will that be something that you have in the next couple of days, or are you aware where you needed to improve?
Yeah, obviously as players we analyse our games. We know during the game what's going right and what's not. So No, not yet. We haven't had the meeting, but I think we will over the next few days and make sure that doesn't happen again. I think it's important to look back on our games and see where we need to improve. And obviously, the obvious one was the amount of goals that we conceded was not good. So for us, it's about making sure we get that right this time.
Hi. In the past, we've always been a bit nervous about comparing young players with the greats in the game. But in the last 10 minutes, you're a mixture of Steven Gerrard, Kevin De Bruyne and David Beckham. Does it actually inspire you and challenge you in a really healthy way to look at these people and actually say, if we want to be the best in the world, we do have to actually measure ourselves against these players rather than be frightened of doing so?
Yeah, I think, like you said, if you do want to be the best in the world, you need to have an open mind. You need to know what you need to do. You need to realise what needs to be achieved and what level you need to get to. So I think it's not maybe that important to compare, because obviously at a young age you haven't achieved the things that them type of players have. It's obviously difficult to say whether you will or whether you won't. Who knows? So I think for now it's about having an open mind and wanting to achieve them type of levels and wanting to be them type of players, and wanting to reach the levels that they reached, and be regarded in the same bracket as them is something that the best players want.
But you're not frightened about people saying you could be that good if you continue. You're not frightened by that at all?
No, that's obviously people's opinions. They can think what they want to think. Obviously, it's nice to be thought of in that way, but for me, it's about obviously trying to reach them levels, trying to reach higher, and trying to become one of the best in the world.